Our weather is changing. You've probably noticed it. Events like what happened this weekend in Arizona are devastating to life, to business, and just getting by in such really tumultuous times. Being in front of the weather and being able to provide predictable forecasting for our weather is huge. Nubila has a vision to provide a much more dense, hyper-local weather sensor network, real-time settlement grade data. In these floods, of course, there was terrible loss of life, but there was also a big effect to local businesses. Businesses generally have two different type of insurance options. One of them, being data driven, is parametric contracts insurance, and those payouts are automatic. So if we use, let's say, a concert, let's say there was a concert where this event happened, they would have been paid out automatically had they had parametric insurance, because the data would show that the wind was high, the rain was high, hail was high, all of the, and which then made it so the event was not able to be held. There would be no need for an adjuster or claims. It's just paid out automatically. I'm not a professional when it comes to insurance. That's just my understanding of it. But do some more research on that if that is of interest to you. But what I want to talk to you about is a decentralized network, which is huge, and how you can be compensated for helping that decentralized weather network grow and expand and be more reliable. So let's dig a little deeper into the Nubila project and how you can participate and be rewarded for that. So predicting the unpredictable, this is their overview, and they want to become the weather oracle. Farmers and how drought affects them and devastates their crops. Maybe they're in Florida and they are a citrus grower and the weather becomes too cold and the citrus freezes or doesn't have a good growing season. Nubila, that's one of the many industries that they are helping to protect their ability to provide information for insurers, like we talked about, the parametric insurance. So traditional insurance falls short because they're relying on the NOAA weather stations. There's only 900 NOAA stations across the US. And across Africa and parts of Latin America, there's very little coverage, if any at all. If we look at the coverage of these, we'll talk about Washington State. That's where I am. What do we have here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say there's 15. You can count them. But if we look at the Nubila coverage map for Washington State, we can see it's much more dense. So if we look just in the Puget Sound area right here, we go back to the NOAA one, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 weather stations for the entire Puget Sound area. And there's more than this, because if we click on that, we can, or click on one of these here really quick. Yeah, sorry, double click on them. We can see that the density is far more. See, we can keep drilling down, and there are a lot of Nubila weather stations. Now, the weather difference between Ballard and Magnolia, not hugely different. But if we zoom back out, let's look at the density a little further where there's less people. Let's look in the Spokane area. And as we zoom in, we can see that we do have more stations, and that matters. This is that last mile coverage that Nubila talks about. If we go back out to this area for Washington State and the NOAA, there's one in the Spokane area. So the Marco weather station is really quite unique in that it is self-sustaining, is a standalone unit. You can learn more at the QR code here, the link down below, and where you can also order it at that link. With the Nubila Marco, you do get the standalone weather station as well as a solar panel. So you can put it out in the back 40 and not have to provide power to it. It's going to measure the temperature, the humidity, the air pressure, the wind speed, and UV levels. Also very important. The key industries, energy and utilities, agriculture, insurance. Links to all these pages are in the description below. This is a decentralized network. So people like you and I can have these weather stations, 1, 2, 3 of them, where you can get the local data, but the Nubila network, I'm falling into the pronunciation trap. The Nubila network is decentralized. What does that mean? It means NOAA, each of these weather stations reports to a central server, maybe a couple central servers that are owned by the government, whatever. With a decentralized network, we're going to have all these weather stations that are owned by a lot of different people reporting to nodes, which are verifying that information in real time. Let's say this weather station is reporting that it's 16 degrees and it's 4 miles per hour wind speed, but this one is saying that it's 76 degrees and 50 mile per hour wind speed. Well, something doesn't jive with that, right? That doesn't make sense. So what's happening is the nodes, which you can host, be rewarded for, they are checking that data between those different weather stations to just validate it and make sure that it's correct. So a decentralized network is much like the Bitcoin blockchain. We see nodes all around the globe, which are keeping track of that data and then validating it across the network. Nodes, for people like me, who maybe don't have a great place for a weather station, but still want to participate in the decentralization of this network and be rewarded for it. So they have 3 different levels of nodes, which do that validation, which we talked about. Your first one is cloud node that you see here. If you were to buy one of these prior to TGE, you would receive 8,288 Nubi tokens, and daily you'd get 160 tokens. And so for your first year, you'd have 58,400 tokens, and total lifetime output per node is 282,000. So that's a $300 investment up front. Basically, it's a software that sits on your computer and works in the background and then deposits these tokens into your wallet while you sleep. Your next level would be to go up to the rainy node for $600. And this one's going to give you a 20,188 token, assuming you've purchased it before TGE, and daily output of 366, first year output 133,590, and total lifetime output 667,950. And then your last option would be the sunny node for $1,500. Again, all the links, you see the QR codes, they're also in the description. And this one gives you a bonus airdrop of 82,880 tokens, a daily output of 1,600 tokens per day, and your first year output of 584,000 tokens, and a lifetime output per node of 2,920,000 tokens. Now, what does that mean? Make that make sense, right? What is it in dollars and cents? We don't know. We don't know what the newbie token is going to be worth. Okay, so make that make sense, Ray. How much is that worth to me in dollars and cents? The short answer is, I don't know. I can't make any promises. I just don't know the answer to it. And nor do you, and nor does anyone else. But let's say, just to make it simple, newbie token was worth $1 at launch. Well, the cloud node would produce $160 per day. That would be a 2-day ROI. That's highly unlikely. You have to kind of figure out ROI and risk based on your own taste for that. But again, using $1 as an example, that would make $58,000 a year. Again, Probably not going to happen at that level. But even if it was at 50 cents or 25 cents, 10 cents, that's probably a little bit closer to reality. Again, no way of knowing. But now you have software that's running and is supporting that decentralized network that's not owned by the government, not owned by any one individual corporation, and you're being rewarded for it. In a day and age where we probably want more of our own control and less of government control, this is really the right way for technology to expand. A decentralized network is important and healthy. Okay, I hope that you learned more about Nubila today. I hope that you decide that you'd like to purchase one. These are affiliated links. Were to order one, please use my link. I very much appreciate it. I am rewarded slightly and you get a discount, so we both win. And that supports the channel, supports more good content. Hopefully you feel it's good content that I can continue to bring to you. Reach out. I want to know your experiences with Nubila, with anything decentralized. I'm growing further and further into the DePIN world, and because I'm essentially a home miner and I live in a condo building, so I can't run big ASICs, big noisy, powerful heat generating machines, but I can do things like DePIN with nodes and still have the ability to make cryptocurrency by leveraging the assets I already have. Hopefully you see that as well. If you don't, that's okay. You'll see here that the node drop is in only 3 days, so don't hesitate. Thanks for watching. Remember to hit that like, subscribe, and bell buttons. Please make a comment. I love to engage and hear from you and what your thoughts are on DePIN and on the Nubila project in general. Thanks again.